Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning. Glenn Calloway from the basement. I wanted to talk a little bit about the passing of Mr. Richard Betts yesterday. Sad passing, one of my favorite guitar players. Um, I don't know if Dickie gets enough love for how amazing he was. Um, I always think of it this way. Dwayne Allman was the heart and soul and leader of the Allman Brothers. He dies suddenly at a young age uh, after the live album came out. So they had two studio albums. The live album, they were recording stuff, I guess, that would end up on Eat a Peach. But anyway, he goes suddenly. What a hole that's left in this band. I mean, he's the guy. His guitar playing, I think Dwayne Allman could arguably be the greatest guitar player of all time above Hendrix because of his resume. Hendrix basically was a blues-based guitar player, if you want to take it down to the nuts and bolts. Dwayne Allman was a session man that played with everyone, Muscle Shoals sessions. He incorporated jazz. His slide playing has just never been equaled in rock music. And just an incredible hole this man left. How are they going to fill this? Dickie Betts steps up, basically learns all of Dwayne's parts plus his parts, and carries the band on its bootstraps as far as I'm concerned. I was fortunate enough to see the Allman Brothers. I always think the year I get confused, it's right around the time Brothers and Sisters came out. So they didn't even add a second guitar player. They were fine with Dickie doing everything. And they brought in Chuck Leavell playing piano, which was absolutely brilliant move. I mean, he was a great addition to the band. Anyway, I saw them in Buffalo, and they were awesome. It was just great. Anyway, let's get on to Dickie Betts. Just show a couple things. I'm going to show my other Allman Brothers stuff. Now, what's funny is on vinyl I only have one album, and that's because maybe, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, whatever it was, a friend of mine gave me his records, and there was we had the same taste in music. We've been friends since we were young, and he had a lot of Allman Brothers records. He gave them to me, but they were all in really rough shape, and I kept them in my collection and never replaced them with good Allman Brothers, good condition Allman Brothers records. And just recently I started purging my albums and taking this stuff out. Even though I love it, I can't play it because it's too scratchy. And I ended up getting rid of my Allman Brothers records, except the only one that really survived was their first album, the Allman Brothers Band. Great album. So that's the only one I have on vinyl right now. The Atco label. I have plans to replace some of those albums. I have audiophile versions of the second album, Idlewild South, and this is a MoFi original master recording, which sounds amazing. Limited edition. My number is 5102 for those who keep score. This is a great album too, with Midnight Rider on it, and of course the classic Dickie Betts tune In Memory of Elizabeth Reed. I also have on SACD my favorite Allman Brothers album, Eat a Peach, which would be the first album that I would replace on vinyl if I was buying one. I love this record. Blue Sky is on there. So I've got a few more Allman Brothers albums that Dickie played on. Of course, I think their most popular album, Brothers and Sisters. This is a anniversary reissue of this album, which has the album on disc 1, rehearsals and jams and outtakes on disc 2, and Live at the Winterland on disc 3 and 4. It's pretty impressive set. If you can find this anywhere, the shows are awesome. There's the band at the time, and yeah, great set that is. I have Win, Lose, or Draw, which was the album that came out after Brothers and Sisters. Then some of the other stuff. Enlightened Rogues, which is a pretty good album. I'm trying to see if I got any more studio stuff. Great albums. Seven Turns. Love this album. The song Seven Turns is fantastic. I'm going to talk about my favorite songs. Where It All Begins is another one. At one time, the brothers split up and got back together again. Then Dickie unceremoniously got hoofed from the band for being a major pain in the butt. And then I've got some cool live stuff. Atlanta Pop Festival. I think this is even a better performance than Fillmore. So if you haven't heard this and you're an Allman Brothers fan, check it out. This was a set that came out, an evening with the Allman Brothers first set, evening with the Allman Brothers second set. Great stuff. And of course, Bears Sonic Journals. Now, you've heard me talk about this series, Bears Sonic Journals, right there. That's Owsley, the famous LSD guy, who was also a sound man. They, a few years ago, found all his soundboard recordings from the shows he worked on, and they've been releasing them. Fantastic series. I mean, just Google Bears Sonic Journals and look at the stuff that's available. Grab some of it if it tickles your fancy, because there's some amazing live stuff here that they've been releasing. Anyway, this is Fillmore East, February 1970. Another thing I want to mention is Dickie Betts put out an album, his first solo album. It's called Richard Betts, and it's called Highway Call. I bought this when it came out because I was a huge Allman Brothers fan. Love Dickie's playing. Now, side one of this album is basically just kind of country, I would say more country-ish songs. Long Time Gone, the opening track's a great song, and Highway Call's a good song. There's a couple of weak ones, I would say, on side one. Side two has a jam called Handpicked. It's 14 minutes and 16 seconds long. It's a jam with Vassar Clements, who also played, if you know the name, maybe from playing with Jerry Garcia and Old and in the Way, and also was a accomplished Nashville session guy, and put out his own albums too. Vassar was a great musician. So Vassar on fiddle, Richard Betts, which he's calling himself here, on guitar, and I believe Chuck Leavell on piano too on it too. It's a great jam if you've never heard it. Handpicked, check it out. Also, Dickie formed his own band, Dickie Betts and the New South. There's a few of these albums. This is a pretty good record. So I'm trying to think of who else is in this band, if they got the names. I don't see anybody really that Dangerous Dan Toller, who ended up playing with the Allman Brothers at one point when Dickie came back, and who was also a great guitar player. So my favorite Dickie Betts songs, number one is Blue Sky off of Eat a Peach. I mean, the guitar playing in that song, Dickie Betts' guitar playing is it's almost relaxing and dreamlike. No matter how fast he's playing, no matter how heavy he's playing, no matter how beautiful he's playing, it just is so lilting and just flows so beautifully. Like, he just was a master. It really was. Just a beautiful sound. The only other guy I know like that is Jerry Garcia, who had that ability just to put you in a trance. And I love the entry guitar lick to Blue Sky, and also the lead breaks, the instrumental passages are great. Second is the title track from the album Seven Turns, Seven Turns on the Highway. If you've never heard that song, you should listen to it. The next is great instrumental. Probably it would be in my top five. There's a thread going around now, your favorite 5 instrumentals. I haven't watched any of them yet, but I wanted to because I was thinking I'm going to do it because I love instrumental music. Jessica. If that's not on everybody's top five, then these people don't know what the hell they're doing. Back to Where It All Begins, another title track from an album. Great song, and of course, In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, the great instrumentalist, just fantastic, full of jazz and rock, and just a masterpiece of an instrumental song. So Dickie Betts, rest in peace. Thank you for all the great music. Just amazing. Um, and that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow after I get home from Record Store Day. I'm pretty excited. So have a great Friday. Thank you.